have already died or like will be died during the next couple of days. It depends on whether gamers join the game. Yeah. So how are you going? What is going on like in your clans and guilds? Let's make a short update. What happened during the last week in the guest vault, and then we will jump to the main topic of our today's space.
Okay. Last week we had like PvP clan Agasso the clan matches, and unfortunately Astra Elite lose at I won the city champions, but in the tournament of the maybe a semi-final we lost. So but it was fun, you know. And after that, we had like a team made a decision that it's a very change the balances, and also like epic and legendary heroes. He They deleted. So I feel like different game started. So I'm really exciting, and the changes was I think it's good for the ecosystem for the long term period. So there's some player felt little it's too hard to keep growing and to like keep the lineup. But I think it's like became a good balances for whole ecosystem. And yeah, I'm doing my strategy, having more energy, and trying to get like whole all the uncommon lineups. And I'm doing, and I'm enjoying.
Yeah, Yinzon, thanks for sharing that. Yeah, and last week we had a huge update that, honestly speaking, didn't make happy like lots of people. So as a result, we had the decreased energy strength and like some levels of heroes they gone away. But on another hand, we also had new tools that, from my point of view, they're extremely helpful, like combat simulation, right? So now we can check how our lineups work without losing an energy that was before, and it's extremely helpful, like to understand how well are you prepared for the next levels. Or we can also see the analytics and how our lineups work during the combat, right? So on one hand, yeah, it became a little bit more tough, like to develop I can't say to develop, but to adapt the existing strategies, as we all had already in mind, like some calculations, some ideas how we will proceed. But it's life, and in life we have the same. So now, like when we have something like 100% planned, one day happens, and you need to change and to adapt everything. So from my perspective, it's really our choice how to react, right? To adapt and to try to find new ideas and strategies how to develop and grow, or to focus your energy like in a negative way. So my choice is the first one, is for sure, and I also believe that these changes were essential for the long term of the game and for the sustainability of the game. And I believe, I do hope that most of us here are with these aims, right? We have really experienced players. We have players who just started, but we really want to develop in this ecosystem. And sometimes, yeah, we need to accept these changes and to live with these changes. But on another hand, we are getting more and more tools that will help us to analyze our lineups, like the effectiveness, how they perform, and they give us a deeper understanding of the mechanics, how everything like is working. So yeah, so I do hope that emotions now have been a little bit like how to say it, even not so huge, I would say. Yeah, and now people starting just to think, okay, it's our reality. What can we do? What can I do having my resources, like my experience, my clan, guilds, and everyone? So here we're also, guys, the idea of the spaces is to help and to support communities. And as today, we will give the feedback to the existing lineups of people who already shared the screenshot of their lineups. And for people who didn't do that or who are not ready to do that, it's also a good idea just to see and to understand, okay, if this can work, for example, let's say once, maybe I can like take this idea just and consider, maybe I can also implement that. So it's not like a call to action plan, but anyway, it's a good like idea for the understanding. Maybe trying something new. Sorry, maybe it took me too long. Yeah, it's to be honest, like it took a long time, like um, to like accept these changes that happen from like a lot of community members. And I personally talked to many people like in my direct on Twitter and on other messengers. So I really do hope that now like most of the people are more focused on their strategies on the development. And yeah, why I'm here just for a short term, just to make something, I don't know, some profit or I'm here for the long term and I really want to build like uh, my game way, let's say, the relationship with people and to benefit from the full experience of the game. As we are in the very, very beginning, we just started. Yeah, sorry. It's like, I think it took me too long. So guys, let's jump to yours. Yeah, to your experience. So how the changes affected yours and how you adapt your strategies? Like, yeah, so what do you feel about it?
Hey, indeed. Uh, I just want to add for a few moments that we know that it can be possible when we have 60 and 60 plus energy, but new members they will never know that there was more energy. So new members will get a new um, emotions, new strategies, new game. Because if you remember, 2 years ago in Stepan we have five levels of mystery box. Now we have 10. So I don't know what Stepan was in November 2021, but I suggest that it was different. Some another game, another Stepan than we see it now. So Gas Hero will be a new game. So we just need to wait. Need adaptation, adapt. So we just need to how it say um, it must take a time, take some time, because we see how the market holds up, floor holds up, heroes, strategies and lineups, new formats updates come into our game, creating new ideas. So yeah, I think these spaces and this um, mm, few days when hero will die and we must by new heroes, new strategies, it will be joyful. Yeah. So everything will be okay.
Yeah, thanks, Walt. Yes, thanks, Walt. Yeah, I just want to add that regarding the numbers you mentioned about new gamers, I just want to mention that during the last week we finally surpasses 10,000 people, and as for today, we have already 10,600 people, and Gas City, Gas World, let's say, it's growing every day. We have more people coming up, and now as the floor prices became more affordable, I believe that these numbers will grow. So let's check it up, like how it will go on. But now, yeah, it's already more than 10,000 people. I do hope it will grow, and grow. Yeah, Nate, go ahead.
Yeah, it's a first hello to everybody and listeners, and I'm very glad to see everybody in our gas space. It's really cool, and I all time miss and I waiting. And what I can tell at the first, I'm gamer, yes, and almost I'm played a very active game, and I love VR. But what's happened also today? You know that now we have some news and when Elon Musk told that they they already start with Neuralink, and they implants with human. And to be honest, it looks like that Gas Hero predict future. Who knows? And it's for me, it's interesting. Like for gamers, for me, it's really interesting. And as we remember that Gas Hero, it's not just only game like game. It's exactly strategy and it's exactly social game. And I love this case. And as we mentioned in the Gas Hero, that also we thinking not about what's going on in directly in the game, but exactly how about AI, artificial intelligence, how it's destroy humanity, or what it will be, or or humanity destroy itself, what it is. And what I can tell in our strategy, as you know, that I am in the clan Persepolis, and I'm very glad because in this case there are a lot of some sportsmen there, and we are in the marathon mode, and we are thinking not we are developing step by step, and it's very important. And as I can see that we have a lot of some mention about some updates, but for us it's very useful and it's great because we can change little bit our strategy, and we can sometimes we can predict what's going on and what we can do there, and it's cool. Let's move forward. And I'm very glad because in my point, I love people, and I am very happy that like Gas Hero, it's exactly like large scale social experiment, yes. And I feel now that people start talk, and it's great because I talk a lot of some other members with clan, and we start negotiation, and for me it's very, now I feel some nice interest. And for me, like the gamer, it's very important, and it's good. And my strategy growing step by step, not hurry up, and for me it's marathon mode. And as I mentioned that our also clan, I'm very, I'm so happy because now I have same mind members in clan, and I'm so happy because every morning we talk, we discuss about strategy, and fantastic. It's really fantastic. Now I feel that I now could not live without a Gas Hero game, and it's cool. It's cool. Okay, sorry. Let's go ahead. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, no, thanks so much for like a portion of motivation as usual from you. Yeah, I see Elena is here, so Elena, feel free to jump in. And guys, if you are available to jump in, so feel free to send me a request. I'm pretty sure you have a lot of things to share as well. Yeah, but Nick, can I ask you a question? Like, how the changes affected like yourself? So, did you adapt your strategy somehow? As now, like most, let's say, most levels that we took before, like they don't work. So we need to empower the lineups, or we need to decrease the levels. So, what was your idea? How you proceed with that?
In my strategy now, it's very simple. Really, I have dream. Yes, my dream it's uncommon now and rare. And step by step, I am going to this dream. And how I do? Okay, at the first, I make very special lineup, and this lineup can achieve easy 3 and easy 4, and also it's only 3 common heroes. And now in my strategy, it's breeding. And I breed, and breed. Of course, some other 2 heroes died already, but I breed a lot. In this case, I already have some small army behind me. This is my strategy. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, we remember your philosophy about babies, you know. So don't you sell your babies, and you hope you just save them, right?
I not sell my babies. I
Okay.
not sell my baby. I have girls, I have boys, and I want growing and growing and growing them.
Okay, got you. And yeah, guys, I just want to add that what I did is I was also playing level Easy 3, and after the updates, I even couldn't make Easy 3, but then I just trying to play with the heroes and try to play them on different positions. And thanks for this new opportunity that we have now, combat simulation, and I just manage the way how I can play them. Actually, I guess I take level 2 for gas cans and level 3 for hero potions for XP. But anyway, thanks for the new possibilities that we have. It's much easier for us now um, to try new ideas without losing at least energy or losing like the assets that we have. Yeah, and I see Elena is also joining us. So Elena, hello. Uh, yeah, hi Elena, how are you doing?
Hi, hi. Happy to hear you guys and really happy.
Elena, you're muted.
It said I was muted by host.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
I put. I pressed. Sorry.
You thought,
Ah,
yeah,
I'm
you
sorry.
thought,
I'm
really?
sorry.
I didn't do
uh,
that.
yeah,
It
yeah.
wasn't
I did.
me.
I did a mistake. Sorry.
It's okay, no problem.
Yelena, hello. How are you?
Hi, I am fine. I'm very happy in our guild, and I wanted to say that, guys, if you are looking for a new place to live or you are just planning to start the game, you are welcome to our guild Persepolis, and you can contact me or Nave or Anastasia to ask where to go. And we welcome all people. We don't have any pressure in our guild, and I think it's cool in our guild that, yeah, we all want to grow, but at the same time we don't push our community too much, because there are some guilds which have really high requirements for the players, and I think it's nice that we're quite friendly and don't ask for too much.
And
You,
and Yelena, sorry, and it's very funny because that as I can see, sometimes all kick out some members from other guilds, from other clan. they come to us because it's friendly, and for us very important people, and it's very important, and we want to give chance to each other, and I'm very glad that exactly Gas Hero Games, it depends on your strategy, and I feel it's really giving chance to other users, to new users, to members, and it's good opportunity. Thank you.
Guys, I just want to end that we will jump to the lineup. So, like, look at Elena's example. Like, what she did now. She did now amazing thing, really. She just jumped into the space and she just said, "Hey guys, come to my guild. Like, it's so friendly here." So, it's about like social part of the game. Look, it's a very good example. Like, Elena, thanks for that. Yeah, and actually, yeah, let's jump to the main topic of our today's space. It's lineups, and we have some screenshots of our community members, like that I'd like to examine and to give some feedback. But before we jump to the lineups of the community members, and I would prefer to give the feedback for the lineups of people who are here. So I think Dot sent us like a lineup, and a couple of more like people who is here. But before we will jump to the lineups, guys, can you share your own tips, or maybe remind one more time the basics, right? What are the principles how you created your lineups, and were there any changes in your understanding how it should be?
Hey, I can start. I can tell you that for my main account, nothing has changed. I mean, I have 6 heroes, common heroes, with weapons and pets. So I have farming on easy 6 and um, just energy. Just it's lower energy, so I can go there for more time like before, and is 6 now it's lower uh, than before. So it's two strategy for my main account. I just want to uh, be in easy 6, not maybe I will not increase it for uncommon, but I don't know. I have one devil's follower uncommon, so I don't know. I don't feel mess in this situation, so I don't know. It's my main. So I will be in my 6 common heroes and weapons and pets in on easy 6, and my multi accounts, my another few, it's moved from easy 3 to easy 2. Why? Because um, before update, I want to move out for easy 4 because before update I was on easy 3 without weapons, with 2 heroes without weapons and pets. So I know that before update. Uh, Before updates, I know that I need to make few weapons and I can beat easy 4, but now it's not working and it's great. So update will uh, um, working no update worked on that. So it's not possible to move to easy 4, and now it's not possible to move to easy 3 for me, because we need some strange no
Trends.
сила, да?
Да.
Да. Okay, so now with 2 heroes I can beat easy 2, and it give me but if I want move to an easy 3, I need 2 weapons and 2 pets. So it's a little bit expensive, so it's better to make another one account for easy 2, and it provides an additional 25 energy for farming XP. So I need these multi accounts only for breeding, for sending XP. And one account have 300 XP over its lifetime. So I need just 120 for breeding and 60 um, 60 gas. I don't.
Gas cans.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's better for me because I have a chance. I have a chance in a breeding. So I think it's better way if I just want to reinvest in game without a new perhaps, yeah.
Yeah, like new financial like resources, right? So
Yeah.
you just want to use the resources that you already generated inside
Yeah.
the game, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And what do you think about, by the way, the equipping heroes is with the update that we had last week, we have also the news that if we are equip, for example, the heroes with the lower rarity pet or weapon, it would mean that they will get less, they will get like deals less damage and receives more damage from the enemies. So now, do you take this point into the account, or you just create as you planned before?
Can I say something about that, please? It's really interesting that now, even though there are some, some players who had like one rare hero which could take easy 2 or easy 3, easily win. Now they cannot have enough strength to go to those levels, so they now have to buy pets and weapons. But anyways, also now you get, if you don't have a pet, you get 200% attack from your enemies, and before you had 100%. And also about weapons, you have less attack. And also what's interesting, it's said in the app that if you have a weapon, like you have an uncommon hero and your weapon is common, you get 20% less strength. And I was wondering, what is strength? What does that mean? And I asked Johnny today about that, and he said that this strength means that your attack and heal is 20% less. So this strength means attack and heal. What do you think about that?
Yeah, actually, what I read is was about your like deals. Like if you equip your hero with a less rarity pet or weapon, your hero will deals like less 20% uh, damage and will receive plus 25% of damage. So is anything changed or it's like the same, guys?
Yeah, but I mean, sometimes it's interesting that if you have an uncommon hero and a common weapon, you not only attack 20% less, but also if your hero has a healing healing skill, if he can heal himself, he heals himself 20% less, other than if he had also an uncommon weapon. That's interesting.
Yeah, what I hear now that it seems that you will have like the 20% less of your main skill, maybe, like your 20% less like deals with damage, attack, or 20% like heals, or 20% support. So maybe we can track it like like this. So in zone A, for what do you think about this, guys?
I think I didn't try it, but I would choose put common weapon to uncommon heroes. It's still like uncommon weapons are like really expensive, and so the important things is like try like uh, my basic strategy for light users, light players is like just first trying to create easy six. Easy six is just like first line, first to the target, and with six common heroes with common weapons and common pet. And maybe if you have strong tanks, maybe you don't need the weapons. It's just like basic first line, I think. And then also if you use one uncommon and maybe two or three common and tanks and with pet, it's possible to like create easy six, even if even in the uncommon heroes put common weapons, common hero, common pet. And so it's just for you can make it clear easy six cheaper. So it's kind of just one strategy for light users, because still uncommon weapons and uncommon pet is expensive, and the uncommon pet you can also try to evolve using the like one tier one and add like two tier two pets, and so 80% you can get the uncommon pets. So maybe you can try it, and then so after that so first you if you create the easy six, it's kind of you can get the you can you are on the like good growing cycle started, and then and most of players are trying to get uncommon heroes by breeding. But it's breeding is okay. But I think I already said that energy is more like most important things in gas hero for me. As so, and I think so. Just try to get more energy. And so energy, if you get more energy and loop easy six is if you have more energy, you can get the better ROI, the return of investment. So and then try to get one by one the uncommon set, and then trying to the target is like all uncommon, and then next line is like normal six with all uncommon asset. so so that's kind of like your steps for the improving. I want to recommend. And also nowadays like uncommon heroes are getting cheaper, and so I always check the prices of the cost of uncommon. If you a hybrid uncommon and uncommon, you need like 200 portions and 100 power count. It's at the cost of market price is like 2060 100 GMT. If you now you can see the uncommon heroes in the market is cheaper than 260. So maybe it's better to buy just for one and non-bleed. That means actually you can try to the common with uncommon breeding. So to try to get the uncommon heroes which you want the coordinate. So that's kind of like a step by step. So yeah. So as Eliana said, I think it's just one choice is you put common weapons to uncommon hero. I think it's just one as possible. I mean the important things is to clear the easy six with one uncommon and three or four commons. So that's more important things. And but
Yeah,
anyway, if you really want to try the PvP, maybe you need to set the uncommon weapon, uncommon pet to uncommon heroes. So it's yeah, like that. What do you think?
Yeah, guys, I just want to greet James, who just joined us as a speaker. James, thanks so much for jumping in. If you could also uh, like help us to understand better, let's say, the possibility to create like more effective like
Yeah.
lineups. We would really, really, yeah. Hey,
I'm
how are
doing
you doing?
great. I love this topic. This is my favorite topic in the world.
Thank
Like,
you.
I literally
Wow, wow,
lay
wow,
in bed
okay.
at night and I put my head down on the pillow and I run through these things in my head, like over and over and over, of like, what's the most effective lineup for solo PvE? And how do I bump up like one more difficulty level so I can farm more things? And then what's the best lineup when we start looking at the group PvP? Because I want to be able to clear at least a line, right? At the different difficulty levels. And then what's the most effective lineup for PvP? Whether it be the solo gas wars or the clan group level gas wars, the guild gas wars they're getting ready to come into to compete, right? And so you start thinking about like, well, what's the meta lineup and what are people running? And should I try to run the same lineup because that's what's popular? Or is there like a lineup that'd be really good against the meta? So if everybody's running two tanks and two damage and two support, is there a way that I can like mix it up and go, okay, what happens if I have three support and then I've got my damage type is attacking their back row to attack their support out. So my three support, maybe I've got a slow individual heal, I've got a fast group heal, and I've got a stun. And those three support are keeping their team in check long enough that my Devil's followers attacking their back row, taking their support out. Once their support's out, I dominate. And all of a sudden now I'm off meta in a way that's really strong against the meta. So many things that I want to share with you guys. So I've got some core tenets to like building a successful lineup at a higher level, right? But before I get to that, I wanted to comment on what I just heard about breeding. This is a very, very common mistake. We saw this for years in Steppen as well. And I beg you not to fall into this trap. What you just described was your feeling that the cost of doing a breed would not turn out to be a profit based on what you perceive is the floor price of the heroes being sold, correct?
Uh, Inson, I think it is a question to
Yeah,
you, but
I
I
can go
think
ahead.
it
I can go ahead.
in
I know that's what he meant. So in zone, we saw the exact same thing in Steppen. And so here's the reality. If you are playing the game effectively, and if you're optimizing not just your lineup, but you're optimizing your inventory of heroes that you have to give you all that energy to act as your batteries, I would recommend that your inventory of heroes not be floor price heroes. If you're going to be adopting a breeding strategy and it's the same price to breed a black sapphire and a deadly nightshade, why would you breed the two least expensive heroes on the floor price and get a floor price NFT instead of breeding the two most expensive NFTs? So then your babies are worth more. Now, as the parents get a couple breeds under their belt, you sell off the parrot. And then when you happen to get twins or happen to get that higher rarity mint, that's the jackpot. So your calculation's off because you're looking at the amount of hero potion and the amount of gas to do a breed. In that calculation, then you need to look at what the floor price of heroes are. You need to add into that what's the chance you're going to get twins, what's the chance you're going to get a higher rarity, right? That's not an insignificant percentage. And then you need to look at what parents are you choosing. For example, if you look at the floor and see it's all support heroes on the floor and damage and tanks tend to be more, well, then have damage and tanks as your batteries that you're breeding with. Or if there's certain code names of heroes, like I just explained, the Black Sapphire, the Deadly Nightshade, the Devil's Follower, there's certain NFTs, certain heroes that really stand out. When you breed those, they're always significantly above the floor. And now when those get twins and when those get higher rarity, that's where the real jackpot hits. So I've actually gotten more profit in the game from breeding than I have from any other piece of the game. But I'm breeding smart in which heroes I choose. So I definitely want to make that point about breeding. And if you guys want to ask me anything about that, you can before I go into optimized lineups, because I love this topic too. And I've got like 6 points laid out that I want to walk you guys through of how I optimize my lineup.
James, can I add something to what you said? Remember, not so far ago, we had a meeting, and you said, "Guys, by the way, do you know that? Did you notice that Black Sapphire is the most expensive hero in the game?" And I said, "Wow, I have that. I have that
Yes.
just as a
Yes.
battery."
Did you
as a
breed it?
battery. And it was, yeah,
Yeah.
but at that time it was 11,000
Oof.
GMT, and
Yeah.
I thought, oh my God, I'm going to be rich. I will breed it so many times. And then when I finally managed to breed one more, it was already 5,000. I thought, oh well, maybe it will grow up a little bit. I won't sell it. I will breed one more time, and so now it's less than 1,000. And so what I want to say that again at the same time at that meeting you said you need to think several steps ahead,
Yes.
and you know that it won't be always the most expensive hero because everyone will go and breed it.
Yes.
So
I
we
did say
need
that, didn't
also
I?
to think
Yeah.
many steps
Yeah. You
ahead.
got to
Yeah.
plan ahead.
So you were so right. You were so
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. And sometimes, breeding the one that's the most expensive now and then quickly selling off certain things, why the price is high. It's just so hard to predict, right? How do you predict prices? It definitely feels like there are meta lineups. When we shoutcasted the group Gas Wars, we saw a lot of Black Sapphires and Ape Commanders and Deadly Nightshades and Devil's Followers. And like there's certain heroes, certain code names that absolutely stand out. And as I go through these kind of 6 tenets that I created of how to optimize your lineup, I'll explain why those certain code names I think really stand out. Anything else on breeding?
Can
Yeah,
I
go ahead.
add? Yeah. I totally agree with James. You saying the breeding strategy. Basically the higher heroes breeding strategy. It's good. It's good. And then I want say that I would add the advanced things tips. And now it's in the more market. We can check the each heroes like you can filter the like skills like
Yes.
the attitude.
Yes. That's
Yes,
one of my
and you
tenets.
can
Yeah, I'll get
also.
into that.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
doing? Yeah,
Yeah.
good. Like, yeah. So they all can you can see the like hero IQ and then
Yes.
how
It's
many
huge.
how
It's huge.
yes
Yep. How many breeds
it's
they already have,
analyzing.
their IQ, how many attributes or
Yeah.
skills. Yes. Yeah, all really
That's
important.
very useful
Yeah.
information. And maybe as you say that like for strong like meta lineup. And
Yes.
but the differences is skill and then the base attitude and the
Yeah,
skill level. Yeah.
absolutely.
And also weapons like additional uh that's additional what other the weapons,
Huge.
no additional
Huge. If you want me to, I'll run
the
through the
faction.
6 tenets real
Yeah.
quick and kind of break down why each one of these is important. And then I'll tell you what I think my preferred meta lineup is. and then variations of this lineup to kind of put a twist on it. And then if you guys want me to go back through, I can give more detail on any of them. Does that work? I don't want to take over, but
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
cool.
sure,
And
take
also
it.
like in I want to say that there's just one example. There one guy named Pushkin. He's one of the Astragenesis, and he got like six strong common cold names.
Cool.
Yeah, as you said, like Fire and the Nightshade and six common,
Nice.
and he cleared the normal two
Nice.
with a whole
With all
common
common
set.
set.
Yes, and
Fancy.
yes,
That's
yes,
not
and he
easy.
cleared the
Clearing
normal two,
normal two
and
with all commons is not easy. You
yes,
got to really be
he,
optimized. Yeah.
right. He really try to pick to buy from the more market. You could choose like hero IQ and
Yes.
like in common heroes with skill 4 and
Yes. That's huge.
and certain and right weapon,
Mm-hmm.
and he cleared the normal too. So it's just same lineup,
Yep.
but you can make
Yep. That's
difference
actually my
if
third
you
tenet.
really
Yep. I'll get there for sure. Yep.
yeah.
So for optimizing lineups, I think it's important that you know that this could vary if you're trying to optimize your lineup for solo PvE and like what's the least expensive way that I can beat a certain level, or if you're trying to optimize a lineup for like max PvP, right? How you want to like perform the best in gas wars, or maybe some mix of both, right? And I think tying breeding into this is probably important as well. My first tenet is that I believe that it's better optimized if you have a maximum of two different factions within your lineup. There are some lineups I've seen where you can try to get one faction. Why this is important is the second skill that each hero unlocks is that faction bonus, where you get an extra bonus for having other heroes of the same faction in the lineup. So if you try to have three, four, five, six different factions, you're throwing away that bonus potential. Trying to build a lineup that's all one faction or at the most two factions, that's going to get you some free extra bonus. The second tenet is to think a lot about category. I already told you guys a little bit about my thought on two tanks versus two damage versus two support. I think that's probably the meta, right? But I've absolutely seen lineups where they try to throw in an extra damage or they try to throw in an extra support. I would not be surprised to see people experiment with six tanks or six support or six damage, or as I described, three support, or maybe you've got a solo healer, a group healer, and a stunner to be able to then combine with something like a devil's follower to attack the back row to take the support out on the other team. So two factions max for the first one. Categories 2, 2, and 2 would be my recommendation, but don't be afraid to find those twists to fight against the meta, especially for PvP. Third tenet, as you start to upgrade your team from all common heroes to maybe six uncommon and then starting to add the rares and all rares, my recommendation is max upgrade the hero before you add them to the lineup, because the number of skills that gets unlocked for that hero is so important. You will be heartbroken if you take a level 1 uncommon hero, add it to your lineup, and only have it unlock one or two skills, because that third skill for the weapon is so huge and you'd miss out on it. My recommendation is if it's an uncommon hero or a rare hero, max upgrade them before you add them to line up. See how many skills get unlocked, and then make that tough decision of this one only has two skills unlocked. Maybe I sell it, I breed it, and then I try to get another one that I can max upgrade that has that third skill unlocked. The weapon skills, the third one, that's huge. The fourth skill, the fifth skill, all the way through, these are all huge. The fifth skill is the one that links to the pet, so that's important too. So the first one was two factions max. The second one, think about those categories 2, 2, and 2. The third one, max upgrade those higher rarity heroes before you add them to your lineup. Fourth one, matching your weapon to the number 3 skill, especially if that's unlocked, is huge, right? Making sure that you're choosing the correct range of weapon. That seems like a common sense one, right? You generally got the daggers and the swords up front, the axes and the hammers in the middle, the bows, the staffs, the guns, the things in the back. It's bigger than that, though. I've not tested it myself, but for example, a Devil's Follower, I've mentioned this one a few times now. I really like this one. The featured skill on a Devil's Follower is this vampiric group attack. Every second attack, it attacks the back row of the other team for 107% damage. Normally, a Devil's Follower that is a damage type hero you would assume would be in the middle row and would use an axe or a hammer. But because it's attacking from the middle row and then the special skill is attacking the back row of the other team, the recommended weapon that you actually unlock for it, that third skill, is a bow. And so I almost wonder if that third skill were to not unlock and you were to go, oh, he's in the middle, he's just a damage type, I'm going to throw a hammer on him. Would the hammer be able to attack the other team's back row effectively with that skill? I don't know that we've tested that yet, but Johnny knows. I don't know if Johnny's telling, but that's an important thing to think about. So make sure you match your weapon to the number 3 skill that you would prefer to have unlocked. Here's the other one. As you start choosing weapons to put on these heroes, especially if you've got an all uncommon team or all rare team, look at the different kinds of weapons that are available on the marketplace. Some weapons only have 3 attributes. Other weapons have 4 attributes. Then within those 4 or 3 attributes, you can re-roll the values. But when you re-roll it, you're not re-rolling to add extra attributes. You're just re-rolling the number within a range. 4 attribute weapons for a high tier PvP team are worth a whole lot more than a 3 attribute weapon. And so if you can pick one up, snipe one off the floor that maybe is very close to floor price, then you can re-roll it as many times as you want to maximize those attributes. But 4 attributes on a weapon is much more than 3. My 5th tenet, matching the pet, especially if the number 5 skill is unlocked on your uncommon or your rare. Not often on a common hero we get the number 5 skill unlocked, but maybe in very, very, very rare situations, if it's even possible. Similar with the weapon, if you tried to match the rarity, you guys already talked about that 200% damage difference if you don't have a pet on there, right? We talked about the 20% difference if you don't have the weapon of the same rarity. Very important, in my opinion, that if you're building an all uncommon team or an all rare team, that you look at the number of attributes that unlock on the pets. A level 3 pet has 4 attributes unlocked. A level 2 pet only has 3 attributes unlocked. If you look at the cost to evolve with the evolution cookies, the pets from level 3 to level 4, last couple times I've looked, it's actually more expensive to buy a level 3 and evolve it to level 4 than it is to just buy the level or to buy level 2 and evolve to level 3 than it is to just buy the level 3 off the market. So I like to have 4 attributes unlocked on my weapons and 4 attributes unlocked on my pets to fully optimize it. The last one, number 6, and this may be the most important of the bunch, this will go into my meta lineup that I prefer, is the featured skill on each one of these heroes. So that very first one that unlocks, right? And we know it's got a short term for it, and then there's the longer information about what it actually does. So you think about Black Sapphire having a defense max, or Ape Commander having HP max. And what does that mean? That means that 20% increase in defense or 20% increase in HP, right? I think about my Deadly Nightshade. It's got that slow single attack. So every second attack, there'll be 175% attack to a single enemy. That's massive. Devil's Follower, we talked about this one a few times. It's got that vampiric group attack. Every second attack, you're going to get 107% attack to the back row, generally taking out support of the other team. A Faith Healer or a Praying Nun. I'm kind of telling you here what my meta lineup is, right? You can see with this lineup, Black Sapphire, Ape Commander, Deadly Nightshade are all Evos. The Devil's Follower, Faith Healer, Praying Nun, all spirits. So I did my first tenet, only 2 factions max, right? For my Faith Healer, my Praying Nun, my 2 support, the one has single gradual heal. Every second time, there's a 30% heal over 5 seconds. And the Praying Nun has single instant heal. Every second attack, there's 123% to the lowest ally that's on the team, right? But then think about those as a twist to this lineup. Maybe if you've got one that does a single gradual or one that does a single instant, maybe you want your other support to be like a High Priestess that does a group instant where every second attack it does 24% to all of them on the team. So do you want one that does single slow and one that does single fast? Do you want one that does single slow and one that does group? Do you want one that does single fast and one that does group, right? Or instead you try to take that rocket scientist or telekinetic woman where you know that every third attack they're going to do the 4-second stun. That's huge in bias fights and can be really big in PvP as well. So then now that you start thinking about these featured skills and what featured skills you want, how do you want to align them? Where if one of your tanks is defense max, the other's HP. If one of your one of your damage is slow single attack, the other one's vampiric group. If one of your support is a single heal, maybe the other one's a group heal or the other one's a stun. And how can you pair these featured skills to make that perfect lineup? If I were to add a seventh tenet, I would say the seventh tenet would be think about who you're going to fight against. What's the meta lineup that you're going to come up against most often? It might be the one I just described. Black Sapphire Ape Commander up front, Deadly Nightshade Devil's Follower in the middle, Faith Healer Praying Nun in the back. And so can I come up with some kind of an offset lineup with 6 support or 6 damage or 6 tanks or 3 support, so I'm stunning that team enough and taking out their support to where I can build a lineup specifically targeted at wiping out whatever the meta is. We see that in a lot of games like this. I've said a lot. I'm happy to go through any of those 7 tenets slower and to go into more detail, but hopefully that gives you a taste of just what keeps me awake at night as I'm laying in bed trying to fall asleep and thinking about how to optimize this stuff.
By the way, guys, do you have dreams about Gas Hero? Because I'm dreaming about Gas Hero every night.
Absolutely.
Yeah, James.
Yeah, absolutely, Lena.
Yeah, James, thank you so much for such a detailed and practical tools. You just covered almost everything we really want to discuss and even more. So yeah, I think it will be really useful, like to make more detailed maybe next time, so we can dive deeper and we can look like more closely, like how to organize like everything. As it's on one hand it sounds really easy, but on another hand, when you're studying and trying to understand and to connect and to improve, sometimes it goes not according to the plan. So I'm definitely support the idea to dive deep into this topic again and again, as it's the basics, and when we really polish these basics, from my point of view, we can really get like we can be really more successful, we can get really better experience. And when we have not only some luck from breeds, as it really makes sense. And yeah, guys, by the way, I was really lucky enough to get 2 uncommons from 2 breeds from commons. But luck is something we can't control. And on another hand, when we have like the deep understanding on how our lineups is working on, how we are going to improve it, and what is our plan is, it's what give us like this feeling of security, and feeling of we are going the right way. So yeah, and James, if do you have a chance to stay with us for like 10-15 minutes, so we will go quickly through the lineups of the community, if you can, as I'm pretty sure you can add valuable advice for them
Yeah,
as well.
absolutely. Would love to. I'll let you know if I need to dip early, but I'm good for now.
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you. Yeah, Nave, go ahead.
Yeah, James, thank you so much. And Anastasia, I hope we record this gas space, and I think we should listen again and again. It's really very useful information, and for new user, it's very special gas space. I am pretty sure. And also, one I want to add that James mentioned about all this strategy and tactics and everything, but what I can add, as for me, I'm very important also numbers, yes, and calculation. Even business, even entrepreneurs, everybody calculate. And for me, mathematics, it's also very important. I'm engineer, and what I found that more what team is create on the Moar for gas hero collection is fantastic. It's unbelievable. And what's mentioned, James, you really can easy to check everything. For example, like speed, attack, HP, MP, defense, you can see numbers and even skills. What's mentioned, James, it's also very important. And if somebody already level up heroes, we can see how many skills learned. And breed, yes, it's very important if you have strategy for breeding. And almost please join to Moar, and please check more detail with not only heroes. Yes, also we can check weapon, we can check pet, and it's very useful. James, thank you so much for joining, and it's very useful information. Thanks.
Yeah, and thanks so much. We have Armandi who like jumped in. Yeah, Armandi, hey, how are you? We are jumping to examining the lineups of the community members.
Hello, guys. Oh man, I think I just missed James Alpha of
You
everything.
you need to meet
Yeah,
him
yeah.
again for sure, for
Damn
sure.
it,
Yeah.
damn it.
Oh,
I just missed it. Anyways,
hola, Armandi.
hello, Neve. How's it going? Are you gonna be in Miami later this week or not?
After 1 week. Yeah, but I come to Mexico to you. Okay, sorry, it's God's space. It's God's space.
Anyways, guys, I really think just actually I was talking with my friend Johnny yesterday, and I was talking with him about the part of how I'm from my background economics, how I really enjoy everything that it's inside the gas hero about the trading, about the numbers, about the commerce, everything. Like the more I get into the game, the less I see it as a game. Of course I play it as a game because I play as a game everything that I do in my life. But the more I see it, the more I work with gas hero, the more I see how it's developing what could be in the future the digital economy around in overall. What we can experience right now in gas hero is exactly that. It's just like a test, I'm going to say it, of how digital economies can develop, and we're able to learn these small things uh, with practice using gas hero. And in here when we count how many items we have and the synergies that we have in between the items, and how the market, the prices move around, it, it leaves us with many tactics that we can polish as long as we like to do numbers, right? I think that's the part. Like if we can register everything, if we can keep or spreadsheets on point, I think this is very enjoyable, and it's just a glimpse of how the in the future these digital economies will develop, right? What do you guys think?
Yeah, actually, it's really important, and we are part of this big, economical world, let's say. Yeah, but Armando, sorry, maybe it's a topic like for another space. As today we are discussing the lineup, so we are like almost done. So we can discuss it next time if you don't mind. Elena, yeah, if you could jump like quickly, and we can jump to the to the lineups finally.
Sure. Thank you so much. I wanted just to add to what James recently said about weapons, because I noticed that you shouldn't just take the weapon advice at face value. Like, if it's said that this hero should have this weapon, it's not always the best choice, especially if you don't have the skill. If the third skill didn't open, for example, I want to say about my example. I have a green uncommon trailblazer, and unfortunately it has no third skill. And so I saw that it should have sword if it would have the third skill. But I thought, well, if there is no point in that, there is no skill, so I can take dagger, because what is trailblazer good for? That it can dodge, and trailblazer perfectly. It dodged like a Greek god. Thanks.
Wow, that's really good experience, and example on how we can find some other solutions. Let's say if one way doesn't work, okay, let's think about, okay, what can we do like next, and how we can. Yeah, and Elena, I'm really happy that it really worked for you, and thanks for sharing it. So guys, let's Armando, go ahead, and we will jump to dot lineup.
Yeah, just super quickly about what Elena was saying. Sorry about it. I just talked about something other theme that was not in line with this space. So yeah, those lineups I have find out, like for example, if you have your heroes, and there's for example, you have not unlocked the pet skill or the weapon skill, you can play around actually with other pets or with other weapons, as long as it creates like a synergy with your character, right? Like for example, I have this specific example. The musician, it has the healing skill of the street musician uh, improves with attack power, right? So for example, if you have this street musician and you didn't get the pet skill, you don't need the pet that requires the street musician, and you can go for another pet that could increment the attack power of the musician, and in that way it will increase the healing effect of it. And the same with weapons, right? If you didn't unlock these skills, you can look into the marketplace. There are pretty good weapons that actually boost the percentage in a high way. And for example, in my case, sometimes I don't even use uncommon weapons, in my uncommon heroes. Sometimes I just decide to use a regular weapon with with good stats that fit that hero, and I'm getting pretty good results. So I think to create these effective lineups, we really need to jump in and check it out again. The numbers, have our spreadsheets, and even have the qualities of each of the heroes that we are using. And we don't have to actually stay in what they're in the requirements they're asking, as long as they're doing okay in our lineup. And sorry for taking another subject before.
No, no, it's okay. Yeah, totally agree. And it's also about like, uh, maybe thinking out of the box a little bit. And when like you do understand that you don't use your heroes like full potential, it's like, okay, but what can I do like with other resources or with other assets? And anyway, yeah. Armandi, thanks so much for sharing that. And guys, now we finally can jump to the lineups. I have chosen three lineups from people who are here. So the first one is Dot. And Dot, you can see his lineup in the first sharing post, like in our space. And as far as I see, he has two uncommon heroes, and in the first line, Nana Swamp, right, and Lone Battlefield, as far as I remember. So, Dot, could you share like briefly why you created exactly this lineup? And your question is like, what heroes do you guys can recommend him to add to complete this lineup to be more effective?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Thank
Hey,
you for having picked my line out. Yes. Why have I picked? I have started with when I first begin. I thought, okay, I I want two uncommon heroes because they live like 30 days, so 50% more than commons. And I started with the lone werewolf and death hand, and I could do easy six, and also I could win the clan adventure. That's why. And now with the new restriction, I was not able to do easy six anymore. I had to do easy four, and that's why I added another common hero there with weapon and pet, and so I could do easy five. Yeah. And now I was thinking for the next lineup if I have only common heroes. So I thought if I pick the same code names, I don't know which heroes would the three spot left, which one could fit the best. Well, yes, thank you.
yeah, James, could you? Oh, Inzon, yeah, sure, go ahead.
Okay. So first you need to create the easy six, right? So as like before. So as same as before. So maybe you need to first to you can put like common pet for the uncommon hero, two uncommon heroes. If you put uncommon pet, I think it's lifespan is already used some kind of half. So uh, maybe first you need to put the common pet of those two, and
Yeah, but
then there is a three evolutionaries. So I would choose Deadly Nightshade, the common, and with an axe, and with common pet. Maybe you can create the easy six. I think. I guess. How about
yeah,
what do you think,
I
James?
I
Yeah.
I actually put just a common hero. It's not in the picture. I put a common hero level 10 with one skill, and I have exactly 80 strengths now, so I can do easy six. But maybe it was
So
not the
you
best
could
idea. I don't know.
you could create the 86
Yeah,
already.
yeah, yeah. Normally with only the two uncommon, I clear easy six really easily. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
As I'm looking through it, it looks like you've got two tanks up front, an uncommon and a common. You've got one damage in the middle. The debate to me would be what's most cost effective to try to hit those higher levels of solo PvE, right? Is it more cost effective to add another common hero or to add two or three more common heroes to fill out the team? Maybe add a damage and a couple supports. Those could be floor price commons, or you could try to optimize it. Or is it more cost effective to try to add pets to the two uncommons that you have? Part of that calculation in my mind is, what's the minimum threshold to try to get up to that next level to clear that next thing, but also having the kind of the understanding of when you're buying these heroes and locking in these heroes, pets, and weapons to your lineup, you're locking them in for a set period of time. So how do I get the max benefit out of those uncommons that are on my team that I know are going to last this 30, 35 days, depending on when you added them, right? And how to optimize that setup. My gut would be to try to get to six heroes. I would think I would get more benefit from that before I'd be buying uncommon pets to add to these uncommon heroes. But you can math it both ways. There's some great community tools where you can even put it into a spreadsheet that can kind of give you an idea where you're at for strength and what's the minimum strength to defeat certain levels, and then kind of map it out. I would lean towards trying to figure out, what's another damage hero that I could get that could supplement this, right? Do I want to add a Deadly Nightshade, as was suggested, or Devil's Follower? And then what kind of support heroes can I throw there on the back that can give me some healing? Maybe a stun hero, maybe a single heal or a group heal that I can put back there. And then how can I add the weapons to those commons so that they can attack from the middle range and the long range? And then how can I get pets on everything? The beauty is you can kind of do it stepwise, one thing at a time, right? So if your goal is to get to a full team of six and to get all six with pets and weapons, then you can kind of figure out, okay, here's the full team I'd like to have based on current floor prices. What's the most cost effective thing for next? And then one step after that, and then the next one. So it might be adding a support is actually better than adding a second damage. And then maybe after the support's added, to add another support or another damage isn't as cost effective as adding a pet on the two uncommons you have, and then maybe it's adding the second damage and then adding the second support. That's kind of the fun of the game, is that there's no perfect or right way to do it, and oftentimes the way that you do it is going to change depending on the floor prices at that time. You might be able to snipe something off the floor that's really inexpensive and undervalued because somebody doesn't realize what they actually have in a common and uncommon, a pet or a weapon that gets listed.
Also, I have one suggestion. If you have Nano Swamp and Lone Werewolf, so it's a faction for sorry, I can't find yeah, it's for a Deadly Nightshade, same faction. But if you have Deadly Nightshade, so you will have second skill from Nano Swamp. It's an self HP increase, and from a Lone Werewolf it will be self attack. So if you choose not Deadly Nightshade, but Devil's Follower, it will be a spiritual faction, another one, and you can add for that one faction. You can add to my lowest support. It's an praying nun, like James told before, and high priest. So you will have an self attack from. Um, from high priest and self speed from praying nun. I think it's better way for an damage, speed and attack, not attack and HP. Just just one suggestion.
So, Dot, what do you think? You have got so many, I guess, ideas what to do.
I was mixed between adding one damage and two healers, like an over time healers and one an instant heal. That's one option I thought about, and the second one was like another way. I add only damage, like was thinking of the Devil's Follower and Altruist Banker who just do the back row, clear the back row damage. So maybe I could aim normal 2 with it. I don't know. But yeah, that way I don't have any support, any healer. I just have full damage and the two tanks in front.
Yeah, but anyway, now you have time, you know, and you have some like ideas on how to improve the lineup. And if you could share with us next time how you are going on, like, and how you proceeded, it will be really interesting to listen to it, to see. Yeah, guys, and thanks, Dot, for jumping in and for sharing your lineup. And let's jump to the second one. We have a lineup from BL Crypto. He's here, but he doesn't speak good English. So we just, if you can just examine his, like, have a look at his lineup and give him some ideas, as he asks us, as in addition to Junior Shifu without pet, what else could I do to pass from easy 6?
I'm looking through it. I definitely would get the pet on that Junior Shifu. I would consider the possibility of upgrading the pets. You might even be able to infuse an extra pet in along with some evolution cookies and get that lucky break where it increases the rarity of the pet as well. Sometimes that can make a massive difference. I'm trying to see what else on the lineup. All the heroes are already intact, so it's not like you want to delete one of these and put a different one. I would think getting a weapon up on that Black Sapphire would make a difference as well. So probably the first two things I would do is get a weapon on the Black Sapphire and a pet on the Junior Shifu. Then the next things I would look at is how much of a difference would it make to upgrade any of the pets that are up there. Some of that's going to depend on the lifespans. So scroll down to the bottom, you can see most of these have full life. It looks like the Black Sapphire was just added. So they got plenty of lifespan left to maybe consider some pet upgrades to go along with as well.
I would also say that I think that it's a pretty nice lineup, and Easy 6 is a pretty nice stage to be. So probably you should consider the economical side. Is it worth it to, to upgrade your lineup to go to normal one, or maybe you are on a perfect spot at this point? I think that it's really a nice place to be, and maybe when your heroes will die, then later you can upgrade to the next level.
You might be right. You might be right. I mean, these are all commons, and you're doing easy 6 at common. You might add a weapon to the Black Sapphire, a pet to the Shifu, try to put them all the pets up to level 2, and still not be able to get beyond an easy 6. I've seen lineups with 1 uncommon and 5 common that are still at easy 6 with all weapons and all pets. So you could invest a lot more and theoretically be at the exact same level.
Yeah, and I have a question. As I can see, it's a different faction. on this lineup.
Yeah, but you're not going to want to delete the heroes to try to match the factions, right?
Yeah.
Just optimize with what you got.
Yeah, okay, guys. Many thanks for your feedback. Yeah, Real Crypto as well. This is an ask for you. Like, if you will implement any ideas you just received, just let us know next time how you will go on. So it's really exciting to listen to. And we have the last community member, Mika's me, who just joined us, and he has a lineup of 5 heroes. So I think you can talk yourself to tell us yourself, like, yeah, what you're looking for, what improvements are you looking for.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, hello, how are you?
Thank you, I'm fine. So this day have come my first two heroes, Ape Commander and Blessed Kid, will die today. And I tried in simulation to fight with easy 6 because before I was doing easy 5 always without any problems, and it was enough for me. And I realized that in simulation in easy 6 I can win sometimes even with this like kind of not very strong lineup. So I thought maybe when tanks will die, how to replace them and make my lineup stronger to get to easy 6. I already calculated that with some level 2 pets and skills updated, I can get 80 strength, so it will not be a problem. But maybe you have any ideas. I mean, if I put 6 heroes, it is easy to beat easy 6. But I was thinking maybe I can do it cheaper without adding 6 heroes. So I'm happy to hear any ideas. Thank you.
Doesn't seem like there's any risk at adding the heroes one by one and then simulating easy 6 and see if you beat it, right? There's community tools that you can do it offline, but online you could certainly, when these 2 tanks up front die, I would think replacing the tanks makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So I would get a common tank up front in both spots, have them both have no weapon and no pet, and see where you're at, and then compare the price of adding weapons and pets to both and where you're at, and then compare that price for adding weapons and pets to both to adding another support in the back. And then how does that compare to try to beat an easy 6? And then maybe stepwise figure out, do I want to just replace the tanks and leave it with 5 heroes? Do I want to consider getting that support in the back? Support in the pack should really come with a long range weapon. They're not going to do nearly as much back there if they're just supporting without a weapon than trying to get the weapons and the pets up front. But you're right, you don't need 6 heroes with 6 weapons and 6 pets to beat easy 6. So step by step, you could add on piece by piece and see, okay, I know I have to have these 2 things. So let's go ahead and add those. Where am I at? Oh, I'm so close. Maybe if I just add a weapon or just add a pet on each, then I don't need that 6th hero. Fun way to look at it for sure.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. But I was thinking about specific heroes. So Blessed Kid, I like it, but maybe like I'm not sure is the second tank from Spiritual Faction good one, or maybe I better replace a like together with Blessed Kid. I will put Black Sapphire. I have it ready, level 20 with 3 skills. So what do you think?
Can I go? Can I
Yeah,
go?
sure.
Yeah. My sub account is like whole spiritual lineup, and it looks similar with you. So I definitely recommend the monk to put another tank. And breast kit is very good. I really like the breast kit and very strong. And then he got sealed and she got sealed and so I think I recommend to put whole 6 spiritual lineups. It's very stable and the good balances and very good. Yeah, I'm using a whole 6 lineup and so like maybe the 2 tanks is a breast kit and monk and the empty place you can put the meditation master or faith healer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's really I think it's very good. It works. And then it's uncommon breast kit is very cheap, like 2,100. and no bleeding. It's very cheap, and maybe you can buy this one just for one uncommon tank. It works for easy six and normal one. So I would buy the brisket, the uncommon brisket. Now it's on the floor price.
Fun way to do it. Spiritual's one of the only factions that kind of give you that ability. For context, each one of the factions has a limited number of heroes that's in it, right? So for Spiritual, we've got two tanks available: Ascetic Monk and Blessed Kid. The Monk has the damage offset. The Blessed Kid has the frequent shielding. For Spiritual, you've got 3 potential damage that you can get. Devil's Follower is definitely one of the meta ones, right? That's got that vampiric group attack. For every second attack, it'll do 100% damage in the back row. The Junior Sifu has the slow single attack. Every second attack, 175% attack to a single enemy. That's a very strong one, very similar to what we see with the Nightshade. Then you also have the Meditating Master. That's the slow group attack. So every second normal attack, 70% attack damage to the enemy back row. And Spiritual also has then the opportunity to have 3 different supports. I like all 3 of these. Faith Healer does the single gradual, the Praying Nun does the single instant, and the High Priestess does the group instant. There's those 4 alone, the last 4 I mentioned, those 3 support and the Devil's Follower make a hell of a team. And then throw in a couple, the 2 tanks up front with the Blessed Kid and the Ascetic Monk, a 6 spiritual lineup is a really fun way to do it. And then you're getting that extra 2.5% across all of them because all 6 are the same faction. That's a fun lineup to play with. There's no doubt.
Nice, thank you. So looks like I should should sell my Black Sapphire and get Ascetic Monk instead. I just saw that Black Sapphire is good and has 3 skills, but yeah, you are right. The faction skill is important.
Also, I want to add, well, I'm going for a different approach. As you were saying that you were looking for cheaper alternatives to try to get it. And if you want to go for cheaper alternatives, you can play around with your pets. Because right now, I think it's the cheaper, like upgrading your pets right now is the cheaper, and you can check around what can you get. Also remember, every time that you level, when you level a pet from level 2 to level 3, the new pet gets an extra attribute. So instead of 2, you get 3, and when you upgrade them to level 4, you get 4, and something like that, right? So and right now cookies are cheaper, and just if you already have some pets, just try to level up those pets with the cookies and see what results you're getting.
Yep, good idea. Thank you.
Yeah, guys, it seems we are almost done for today. So we considered 3 lineups. Not everyone, but we will try to pick up like 1, 2 lineups, maybe every single space. So just to enable more people to get some feedback and ideas how to improve. It would be really exciting to hear guys like from Migas, me, BL Crypto, and Dot, how you guys are doing with your lineups. I'd like to say special thanks to James who joined us today and gave so many practical tips. So guys, if you join us later, just highly recommend you to listen to the space. OG State, it's really practical tools that everyone should implement. As well as usual, InZone, Nave, Waltz, Armandi, Elena, thanks so much for jumping in. And guys, Elena did a really smart thing today, advertising her guild. So thanks everyone for listening, for sharing your feedback, ideas, and thoughts. We will meet everyone next Tuesday, 2 p.m. UTC. So take care, experiment, go ahead, and keep in touch.
Thank you. See you next.
Thank you.
Weekend.
And next week we have Guild Gas War, Gas Guild War. So we need to get ready. Let's go.
Yeah, actually, I didn't mention, as this week we're going to have the World Elders elections, and next week, I believe it's February 5th and 6th, when we will have the Gas Guild Wars. So we'll have a lot of things to discuss next Tuesday. Yeah, and guys, like, if you really want to join, just feel free to jump in, to send me a request and to share your experience or ask a question. Yeah, and Armando, sorry, also thanks so much for joining us. Sorry I didn't mention you before. So yeah, I was really happy to see everyone, and I really happy that our spaces have become a Tuesday tradition, you know. So let's move forward, yeah, and see how everyone is developing and going on. So take care, yeah. See you next Tuesday, yeah, and keep in touch.
Thank you. And thanks for all community, for all listeners. Yes, thank you so much. Adios.
Gas Hero forever.
Bye.
Gas Hero. Yeah.